All right, so I'm not gonna lie, the tier list is getting way too big. So at the end of the video, I will zoom out so you can see the entire tier list at once. But I feel like right now, it's better to have this view so people can see things a little bit more clearly. So we will have to kind of scroll around within the tier list to be able to see everything here. It's not too big yet, but I mean, it's only gonna keep getting bigger, right? So first thing I want to do for the PvP tier list this time around is go through and make some changes. First off, I also want to say shout out to everybody in Discord that gave me advice and their thoughts on this tier list. Obviously, people have disagreements with each other, with me, so on and so forth. But in general, I think we came to a somewhat okay consensus here, it looks like, where hopefully most people's opinions will be reflected here with the changes that I make to this tier list. If your opinion is not reflected or you completely disagree, let me know down in the comments. And of course, I'm sure there will be those trolls who say like Lady Nagant is, you know, SS tier when of course she's not in PvP. So trust me, I want the mommies to be up there too, but realistically, I have to be fair on this tier list. I want to put characters where they deserve to be and where they actually belong. So first off, the characters that we're going to be moving, this actually pains me a little bit. It actually really does. I'm going to start with 100 million All Might. I actually rate this character, man. I really like running him with Hawks. Hawks just being a character, by the way, makes so many of these other characters more viable that are pro heroes. He's such a good character. But if we were to compare like 100 million All Might to Steampunk Aizawa and Hawks, who are both pro heroes on the same tier, I do feel like I agree that this All Might, while he does have good damage and AoEs and stuff like that, like he's really good still, but he's just not quite as good as these two. I would say he's equally as good as that Mount Lady, who is in sub meta. So I feel like that, I do feel like that is a little bit better, a little bit more fair to move him down to S. That being said, I think in general, when you're building your PvP teams, you're going to be picking from S and double S tier more often than any of the other tiers. So I do think he is still very much going to be one of a very highly picked character, depending on what types of teams you guys are running. Now, the next character we're going to be moving is also another pro hero. Okay, and a lot of this just has to do with, once again, he can't compare. Red Aizawa can't compare to these two right here. These two are so integral, versatile, useful, and different teams, different comps. They don't just have to be run on pro hero teams, right? He is a decent tank. He can be a very useful character with his evasion. I do think he does decent damage as well, but once again, these two are just insane. Absolutely insane when comparing to other pro heroes and just other characters in this tier. Other characters in this tier are like, there is still an argument for him to be up there, but I feel like this is more fair. And then also I have to move down Fantasy Jiro. Fantasy Jiro, I kept her up here for the longest time because turn 1 she nullifies status elements, but then after turn 1 her usefulness has kind of fallen off. I feel like there's other characters that do similar things now that are like, it's not necessary anymore. I don't feel like she is still decent. She can be used on teams, but I don't feel like she's as good as those other characters in double S tier, so she gets moved down as well. And then last but not least, I do want to address this because there's going to be people that disagree, but I'm going to leave this character where they are for double S tier, and that is going to be 100 million Todoroki, okay? Hate me all you want for this, but on attack in PvP, he is one of the only characters, he is the only character in the game, at least right now, that has the ability to do what he does with tanking. And running him on a team allows you to now use other characters like Steampunk Aizawa, very squishy. If he's only level 100. Level 130, it's not so bad, but level 100, he's very squishy. Now, where you might not have been able to run Steampunk Aizawa before, you can run him with this Todoroki, and you don't have to worry about speed advantage. He just changes the game so drastically because you don't have to worry about a lot of things you did have to worry about before, being that he's able to stop some of the status elements. He is going to be able to reduce the damage of your allies and stuff like that. He's just a really interesting character. I think he is very good on attack, and he makes a lot of teams work very well on attack if you want to run him with those teams. And so for right now, I'm going to leave him in double S. There is definitely an argument to move him down. I could see him moving down because he's not really as useful on defense if people just, you know, bring like Blue Aizawa and know what they're doing. But I think for now, I'm going to leave him where he's at. But definitely there's an argument to bring him down to S, but I'm being a little bit biased there, and I genuinely might be one of my favorite releases like recently so far. Next up, I'm going to be moving Steampunk Deku. So Steampunk Deku currently right now sits in sub meta. He was actually useful in the recent Climax battle. However, I don't think he's as good in PvP anymore. He does have that single target damage with the piercing shot, but he doesn't have multi-hit single target damage like some other characters. So because of that, I am going to move him down here to A tier. I think he's still a competent character. I think he's still a decent choice as a character, but when comparing the usefulness of the rest of S tier, especially now that we moved some down from double S tier, right, I do think we have to move him down to A tier. Now, beyond that, I am also going to move Climax Battle Endeavor. Climax Battle Endeavor, most people probably don't have at 130, and then B has just fallen off a little bit in usefulness, but largely because most people aren't going to be able to have him fully leveled up. He's not going to be able to compete with some of these other characters that are going to be higher leveled for people, so we're going to move him down here. And in general, this tier list is talking about PvP usefulness, mainly like at a base level of 100 for everybody, but it could also be applied to 130 as well. But in general, just even Endeavor, a lot of people are going to have him even level 100. So because of that, I feel like for right now, he has to go down to A tier, but there might be potential around the time people start getting him 130. We'll have to see how he performs, but by then new units will have come out and he'll just be overshadowed, but maybe he'll move back up by then, but I highly doubt it. That's the biggest problem with Climax Battle characters, is like they got really cool kits and they are actually pretty decent a lot of the time, but then by the time you're actually able to get them leveled up to 130, it doesn't matter because they're overshadowed and their kit is no longer relevant. So biggest problem with Climax Battle characters is that. Speaking of Climax Battle characters, we are going to be placing the new Climax Battle Shigaraki today. I don't even know what to say about this character. I am a little bit disappointed with him, but it's okay. I'll come back to him though. I'm gonna go in order of the character releases. So this should be, if I put it in here correctly, hopefully I did, the order of the character releases since I last did the tier list. So we're gonna start with Ida. Ida is a fairly fast character. He's an interesting character. I don't think he's the craziest, really. Single target, like, he has to go on B. He's just okay. He's okay. He's like on the same level as Purple Monoma, right? Neither of those characters super great releases. They were okay. This was actually, in my opinion, probably one of the worst general pools to release recently. Like, Present Micah is better, and I also think Mirko is better, so yeah, he's just not my favorite unit. Steampunk Shigaraki has the AoE, can have big damage. I found, if you've ever watched the showcases I did for him, I found a lot of faults with him, right? I still feel that way. And honestly, a lot of other people feel like his kit just doesn't do a whole lot. Like, he does damage. That's it. The decay is almost pointless, right? So because of like his kit focusing so largely on the decay, and not really being able to accomplish much but big damage, and he has to be like almost level 130 and be buffed up, you know, and to be able to do that damage, like, I have to put him in B tier. He's also okay, but when we're talking about B tier, right, if this is not organized, okay, I want to be very clear about that. So because Ida's sitting here, it does not mean that Ida is better than this Shigaraki, okay? Generally speaking, the Shigaraki is probably like at the top of B tier. He's close to A tier. There is an argument for A tier, to be fair. These tiers just are not organized like that, okay? So please keep that in mind as you're looking at this tier list. Just because he's right here does not mean he's below all these other characters. These tiers are actually more or less organized because I tried to put same characters with same characters, right? So actually, when I just moved characters down, I should have moved Endeavor to Endeavor, and then I should put Nagant with Nagant. Just that way it makes it easier to find the characters you're looking for when you're looking in these tier lists, and then I need to put Deku with Deku over here. So hopefully that'll just make it a little bit more efficient for people, and I'll put Aizawa there. And I'll try to place these other ones the same way as we go. All right, next up, we have Mirko. Mirko is actually, this green Mirko is impressive. Might be the best Mirko in the game, which is crazy because we have a limited summer Mirko, and limited summer Mirko is not nearly as good as this one. I really did like this Mirko here. And honestly, it's hard for me to tell you if she goes B or A. This is another one of those characters. I feel like she's competent. I feel like she has really good multi-hit attacks. She's a pretty good tank. And the biggest problem with her is they're just single target attacks, which can be a little bit annoying, but still, because of her tanking and the damage that she can do, I am going to put her A. I think finally, decision, I'm going to put her A. This is a character that I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree on or argue about. Once again, if you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments, and we'll try to adjust accordingly the next time we do the tier list, right? But I do think, to be fair to her, the damage she puts out for being a defensive character at the same time has genuinely impressed me. So I'm going to put her in A tier for right now. I think that is fair for her, and I think that's the honestly, she's better than Red Mirko. I almost want to man, Red Mirko has to go down, right? I don't even know how she's survived up here this long. Red Mirko has to go down. Yeah, Red Mirko has to go down as well. I didn't even think about that. So Red Mirko goes down to B tier as well, I think. I think A tier is looking a little bit better now. I think I like most of the characters in there. But yeah, Red Mirko, that was a split-second decision too by me right there. I don't think I even discussed Red Mirko with anybody or saw anybody discussing it in the Discord channel. So if you disagree that Red Mirko should be back up there, but I think just in comparison to the rest of the characters in A tier, I think B is completely fair to put her down here. And if Steampunk Shigaraki's in B tier, Red Mirko has to be in B tier. I cannot say that Red Mirko is a better choice than Steampunk Shigaraki. Honestly, I'm still debating, like, I feel like he should almost be A as well, because I don't know that I can say like Blue Endeavor is better than Red Shigaraki either. I'd say they're about equal, actually, kind of what they do. But we'll see. I'm actually gonna, just for argument's sake, so everybody can see, there's no other Shigarakis in this tier, I'll put him towards the top, just that way it's like obvious that maybe he should be A. I think the more I look at it, the more I want to put him A, but for now I'm gonna leave him in B. Next up, we have the Climax Battle Shigaraki. So Climax Battle Shigaraki is okay. Like, his base kit is all right. The biggest problem is I feel like he lacks damage right now because he's not level 100. He's not going to be level 130. By the time he is, he's going to be overshadowed, like I was saying with the other Climax Battle Endeavor. And also, the enhancement is hard to achieve and not super useful. I mean, like, once you get it, I guess it's good, but it's almost not worth trying to get. Like, you are more likely to let this character die than get the enhancement by the time you get the enhancement. So for that reason, this Climax Battle Shigaraki, honestly, we had kind of agreed to put him in B tier, or it looked like people had wanted him in B tier looking back through the Discord. I feel like I have to put him here. I feel like I have to put him here for right now, because he's not going to be a high level for a lot of people, and because I can't even justify saying that he's nearly as good as Steampunk Shigaraki, like in terms of damage and other stuff right now. I feel like putting him in C situational is fair for right now, because he is situational. Most people probably are not going to be using him in PvP, and I feel like that is more than fair for right now. So we're going to put him there. If he does get to level 100, 130 for people, and he starts to, you know, be an amazing carry, be insanely good, then I think there's an argument definitely to move him up. Next up, we have V3, Fantasy V3 Shoto. So Fantasy V3 Todoroki, initially when I did the showcase, I wasn't super happy with him, but then once I got him board 13, got him leveled up all the way, I was like, okay, he's doing decent damage, he has status elements, he has the AoEs, he has a lot of stuff going on for him, right? That makes him a decent character, decent carry. He has decent stats, so he can do decent damage, right? So overall, I would put him into competent. He is a competent character. It's weird because in years past, obviously, like a lot of the other fantasy fantasy celebration steampunk characters have made it into S and SS tier at the launch, and they've been moved down gradually over time as they've been overshadowed. But this character wasn't really great in PvE so far, and he's not really great in PvP. Like, he's okay. He's better than his counterpart. He's better than Deku in PvP, I will say. But he's not as broken as like years past characters that we've seen for anniversary characters, which is kind of sad, to say the least. It makes me a little bit sad that these characters have not been treated super well. And then for the anniversary characters, to end off the anniversary characters, we have V3 Deku. So Fantasy V3 Deku, like I said, is not as good as Todoroki, but I will say he does decent damage. He has the double attack, right? The piercing shot. So he is as good as any of these other characters in B tier when it comes to damage. So he has to go in B tier. I cannot see him going any lower than B tier. Plenty of Dekus down here that are, but I feel like, yeah, he goes up here with the other B tier characters. In general, he will be fairly useful for that. Did I have any Todorokis up here in this tier? I don't think I did. Okay, yeah, that was the first. Nope. Okay, there's a second Todoroki. Okay, so try to keep the Todorokis together there for you guys to make it simple. And then last but not least, we have the new Present Mike. And I did say this when he initially was coming out. Unfortunately, I didn't pull him, but I have gotten word, and I'm totally taking people at their word on this one, that he is actually really good because of the things he can do. So, he has AoE confusion, he has buff cancellation, he has cancel ailment block and buff block together, which is really, really good, right? He has 4 turn cooldowns. He has a lot of stuff going for him, and 2 damage skills. Both of his skills are damage skills, unlike other Present Mikes, and he has pretty good debuffs as well, with crit resist down and plus ultra gauge charge rate down. Like, a lot of really good stuff that makes him a very useful character on many teams. He's not the craziest for damage, but all those debuffs and stuff that he offers to the team makes him a very, very useful character. So I will put him actually in S tier. I'm going to put him in sub meta. I do think he is a sub meta character based on the things I'm hearing from people, based on looking at the kit, based on the damage numbers and stuff I've seen. I feel like that is a fair evaluation for him so far. Whether that changes or not, I will let you guys know. I'm going to see if I can get someone to let me do a showcase with him here, hopefully soon, if possible. But we'll see if that happens. But in general, those are the changes I made to the PvP tier list. Any changes below, like B tier, I would say don't even really matter for the most part. But in general, you're going to go for S tier, double S tier characters first when you guys are looking to build your PvP team. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit. And like I said, I will try to zoom out right here so you guys can see the full picture. So there you go. That is the tier list for PvP updated. Once again, in the comments, if you disagree, let me know why down in the comments. Productively, please, maybe not too mean, and we'll try to change it in the next tier list if that is something that everybody feels should be changed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.